बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मेरा नाम असल जानी है और मेरे यहाँ स्कूल एफेड कैंपस का तालिबी इल्म हूँ। जैसे कि आप जानते हैं कि हम जब भी आते हैं तो एक न्यू कॉलोनी के साथ आते हैं। तो आज हमारे पास टास्क आया है, तो जिसका टास्क टॉपिक है टास्क टॉपिक का बैकबोन ऑफ अर्ली सिविलाइजेशन। तो जिस पे हम सिर्फ माया से बात करते हैं। तो चलिए आज हम शुरू करते हैं। तो सबसे फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, व्हाट मेड वुड वन ऑफ द फर्स्ट मटेरियल यूज्ड बाय ह्यूमन?
Nice to meet you, Leanne. That's a great place to start. Wood was such a go-to early on because it was everywhere. And unlike stone, you could actually shape it or carve it without needing a bunch of heavy tools.
Okay.
Plus, it's fuel for fire, which
Okay. How
changed
did
everything.
how did early human use wood for survival?
They really came down to the basics: shelter, tools, and warmth. They used it to build simple huts to get out of the rain and wind, and fashion spears or digging sticks for hunting and gathering. But honestly, the biggest win was using it as fuel for fire, which meant they could cook food and survive much colder
Okay.
climates. To think they'd have made it as
Okay.
far without
Okay.
it?
How did wood contribute to cooking and food preparation?
It basically turned the game around for them. Before fire, everything was raw, which isn't exactly a culinary delight and can be pretty dangerous. Wood provided the consistent heat needed to cook meat and tubers, making food easier to
Okay.
digest and
Okay.
killing off a
Okay.
lot of the bacteria.
Okay.
It also let them boil water and create
Okay. What
stews,
role did
which
wood
meant
play in hunting?
it was pretty central. They used it to make spears and bows, which meant they didn't have to get as close to a dangerous animal to take it down. It gave them distance and a much better chance of success. I wonder if you've ever seen a replica of those early tools.
Okay. Uh, what was wood important for agriculture?
For agriculture, wood was basically the starting line. Early farmers used it to make the first plows and hoes to break up the soil, and they built fences to keep animals in or out. It turned farming from a struggle into a system. Do you think we'd still be using wood for most of those things if we had other options?
Okay. What kind of transportation were made from wood?
Early on, it was all about the water. They started with simple dugout canoes, literally just hollowing out a massive log with fire and stone tools. Later, they moved onto rafts and more complex boats, which basically opened up the world by letting them travel across rivers and oceans.
Okay.
On land, the biggest,
How
the
did
invention of the wheel.
forests support early communities?
Forests were basically the one-stop shop for everything. Beyond the wood for building and fire, they provided a constant source of food like nuts, berries, and wild
Okay,
game.
okay.
Plus,
Why
the
was
canopy offered
timber considered a valuable sources?
absolutely. Timber was like the gold of the ancient world. Once communities realized that certain types of wood were stronger for ships or more durable for housing, it became a huge strategic asset. It's one of those things where having the right forest nearby
Okay,
could
okay,
actually
okay.
determine if a
How
city
did
thrived
wood
or failed.
okay, how did wood contribute to the growth of village and cities?
It allowed them to scale up instead of just small temporary shelters. Would let people build permanent structures and larger homes. This stability meant they could stay in one place longer, but listen, we're actually hitting our time limit for this session.
Okay.
I don't want
Why
you to
should
get cut off.
why should we protect why should we protect forest for future generation?
I'd love to dive into that, but we're actually out of time for this call. I don't want us to get cut off while we're talking, so let's pick this up next time. You can always call me back whenever you're ready to keep going.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
How does wood contribute to sustainable construction today?
It's actually making a huge comeback with things like cross-laminated timber, which lets us build skyscrapers out of wood. It's way more sustainable than concrete or steel because trees soak up
Okay,
carbon while they
okay,
grow.
okay.
I'm still really curious about that
What
question.
innovation are shaping the future of wood product? उम्मीद होगी आप सबको पसंद आया होगा। तो चलिए हम मिलते हैं अगले नेक्स्ट टास्क पे, तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़।